Everything you thought you knew about the moon landing might not be the full story. Was it a giant leap for mankind, or a staged performance to win the Cold War? Today, we uncover the truth behind Apollo 11. This is Factstorm History. Let's begin. Act 1. The Landing. July 20th, 1969. The lunar module of Apollo 11 touches down on the moon. Inside, two astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. But before Armstrong could take his historic first step, something went wrong. As he exited the lunar module in his heavy spacesuit, he accidentally broke off a small but critical piece, the ascent engine arming switch. Without it, the lunar module couldn't take off again. If they couldn't fix it, they'd die on the moon. And they didn't even know it yet. Act 2. Why did America go to the moon? To understand why this mission mattered so much, we need context. The moon landing wasn't just about exploration. It was about war, a Cold War. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first man-made satellite in orbit. In 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space. America was losing the space race. That same year, U.S. President John F. Kennedy made a bold promise: to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade is out. It sounded impossible, but it became America's obsession. Billions of dollars were invested. NASA engineers worked around the clock. And in July 1969, Apollo 11 launched, carrying Armstrong, Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Act 3. The landing drama. The journey wasn't easy. Alarms blared. The landing site was covered in massive boulders. With only seconds of fuel left, Armstrong manually piloted the lunar module to safety. Then came the moment. Armstrong stepped out and said the words that would echo through history. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Buzz Aldrin joined him. For 2.5 hours, they explored the moon. They collected rocks, set up experiments, and planted the American flag. But back in the module, that broken switch still threatened their lives. Buzz Aldrin came up with an idea. He used a ballpoint pen to complete the circuit. It worked. That pen saved their lives. Act 4. The conspiracies. But did all of this actually happen? Decades later, conspiracy theories exploded. People claim the landing was faked, filmed in a studio to fool the world. They point to the fluttering flag, the missing stars in photos, the strange angles of shadows. But here's the truth. NASA had designed the flag with a horizontal rod, so it would always look extended. The cameras couldn't capture stars in bright daylight, and the moon's surface reflected sunlight in ways that created unusual shadows. Even the Soviet Union, America's biggest rival, officially acknowledged the landing.
If it were fake, the Soviets would have been the first to expose it. Act 5. The Legacy. Apollo 11 wasn't perfect. NASA faced near disasters at every stage.
Even President Nixon had a speech ready in case the astronauts died on the moon. But they survived. They returned. And humanity had achieved the impossible. More than 400,000 people worked on Apollo 11. It cost over $24 billion on Korean, more than $100 billion in today's money. Was it worth it? Some said no. They argued that money could have fixed problems on Earth. But others saw the moon landing as a symbol of hope, proof of what humanity can achieve when we dream big. Apollo 11 changed the world forever, but it also left us with questions. Was it purely about science, or was it America's ultimate Cold War victory? One thing is certain. That moment, one small step on the moon, became one of the biggest leaps in human history. If you found this story fascinating, check out our related video where we expose 5 lies you were told about history. You won't want to miss it. This is Fact Storm History. Thanks for watching.